screens. Top 10 Spider-Man villains.
Thank you, Hybrid. Yes, guys, I'm back with another top 10. My top 10 Spider-Man villains this time. Now, before I start things off, I want to apologize because I spoiled a Who and Why, which is Sandman vs. Clayface, last top 10, which was Batman. I apologize for that. I was recording at the time, and by the time I uploaded it, it was already let out that I revealed one. I feel very sorry about that, especially to Garrett. So sorry that I respoiled it for the schedule, but look forward to that in Season 7, along with the other 9, which I do know, but I'm not going to say this time because, well, I don't want to repeat the same mistake twice. But other than that, sorry for that, and we can move on now to the wall-crawling hero, Spider-Man. With my side host this time, a symbiote known as Hybrid. We couldn't get Venom because Venom, no one could do Venom right as Eddie Brock can. But Hybrid will be perfect, won't you, Hybrid? Because Hybrid here has not been portrayed by anyone, so I can get away with it. Ain't that right, Hybrid?
That's right,
Yeah.
Green.
Okay. Alright guys, let's crack things down with my top 10 Spider-Man villains, 1 to 10. So instead of figuring out who my best Spider-Man villain is, because you already know that one, let's try and figure out, if you can figure out, who do you think is my least favourite. It doesn't mean they're bad, it just means that, not as much as the good ones. But let's go down to my top 10 Spider-Man villains.
Obvious number 1.
Okay guys, let's crack things off with the obvious number 1.
Green Goblin.
Yep, it's Green Goblin. A versatility edge that gives Batman a run for his money. And the fact that he has a wide variety of gadgets. Also the fact that he has pumpkin bombs and he has his own occupation of Oscorp Industries. Not to mention the fact that he is able to torture and psychologically mind fuck up Peter Parker. And he created the Clone Saga behind Jackal's hands and all that. He's been on several Who and Why fights. Majority of the time he's won most of the few. And it's not because of me, it's not because of Garrett, it's just that in those circumstances he would win. He's even fought Venom. And if you want to know who will not fight, you can check that out for yourself. So I don't want to spoil it for you. But I like this artwork, by the way, it's pretty cool. And I'm also using it for my new profile picture as well, which you can see on my channel. Other than that, I believe it's nothing to see it that Green Goblin is amazing. Whether he's doing it in the Spectacular Spider-Man with Steve Blum, who's amazing. Whether he's doing it in the animated series, where he's going to use the portal technology. Whether he's in the comics trying to screw up Peter, especially in that iconic scene where we all know he kills Gwen Stacy. Dun da da! And same in the movies, but it's not as good as the comics. Other than that, Green Goblin, we love him, we admire him, and sometimes we just want to give it to him. But he is mine, and I believe Garrett's number 1 Spider-Man villain. I believe I'm right if it's Garrett, unless it's something else. But other than that, I like him a lot. Let's move on to the next one.
Number 2.
Okay, we're on the second one now. Who is number 2? Guesses are up. Let's reveal.
Hobgoblin.
That's right, guys. My number 2 Spider-Man villain is Hobgoblin. Which version of the character? Doesn't really matter. They're all mostly the same, I'm assuming. Because I find them pretty enjoyable. Doesn't matter which one it is. No leads, nah. Roderick Kingsley and Jason McAdale steal the show, though. Roderick Kingsley's amazing, how he's able to get away with this big scheme of the identity of the Hobgoblin and who it could be. Not to mention the fact that, I think Flash Thompson was one time the Hobgoblin, like he was used or something. So he was able to quickly screw up the guy. But mind you, this character has so much potential because the Honest had lots of fun with him, how they designed him. I believe he came first, no, I always get confused. He came first in the animated series, and then it was Osborn. But in the comics, he came second and Norman came first. So yeah, he's pretty less insanity than the original Green Goblin, but he's still amazing nonetheless. He's able to give Green Goblin a run for his money. He's been on Who and Why before. Go and check that episode out. It's great. It's one of our early ones, but still awesome. Also the fact that he has good technology as well. He's able to figure out the mistakes of the serum, like insanity and all that. And of course, Mark Hamill voiced him in the animated series. What's not to love there? He's great as Joker, and he's even greater at this, probably. I don't know. They're just so good together. Mark Hamill is always a delight and a little icing on the cake for your shows, and he does a phenomenal job with the Hobgoblin persona. So that's why you gotta love him. Hobgoblin is my number 2 Spider-Man villain. Now it's time to move on.
Number 3.
Okay, who do you think is this one? Who is my number 3 Spider-Man villain? Okay, let's go. Reveal yourself, number 3. That's right, guys. It's Venom. We all love him. We all admire him. He's the most popular character of Spider-Man's rogues. While Green Goblin is the greatest villain, sometimes they consider him to be the greatest villain. But more popular is mostly Venom. Sometimes he deserves his own spin-off movie. He's been on Death Battle facing Bane. He's been on Who and Why facing characters such as Carnage and Green Goblin. Don't know if we're gonna get him in the future episodes. It'd be cool if we did. We love Venom. But yeah, Venom has lots of potential. He's able to physically outdo Spider-Man. He's the poison to Spider-Man he presumes himself to be, hence why he calls himself Venom. He also contains a deadly bite in his mouth, and he can turn invisible and mold weapons, which me and Garrett did not know. We also prefer him using black webs than the white ones, and the fact that he, instead of shooting webs with the iconic spider finger thing, he does the fist. So that's how he shoots his webs out. He's able to screw up Mary Jane because she assumed him on the suit, and the fact that he knows everything about Peter, he can really screw him up there. Only 2 villains have done that, I believe, figure out his identity, which are Green Goblin and Venom. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But these 2 villains have something much in common, and that's why they're in an episode together. But Venom has to be on this list as my number 3 favorite Spider-Man villain. But let's go on to see who is number
4.
Who is number 4? Okay, let's see if you can figure out who's next on the list. Number 4, what could that mean? Of course, now we get the joke. It's Dr. Octopus. Chose this piece of fan art in particular because it's like, I like the movie version of Dr. Octopus. Alfred Molina, he did a great job. Some don't like his performance because of how the arms are taking control of him, which I can understand, but still Alfred Molina was having such fun with the role, and the arms look pretty cool. I love them too, and I don't know, I just like the design on him and this, especially the trench coat. This piece of art looks amazing. Yeah, but other than that, Dr. Octopus is great. Most people put him in the top 10, one or another. He created the Sinister Six group, which in the comic books, I'm told. He also did the Master Planner stuff, and the Underwater Base with that iconic issue where Spider-Man's trying to lift all that rubble out. What else has he done? He's a very good scientist, trust me. I would put him like, he's close to Mr. Freeze at times, depending on how he's portrayed. Like in the movie, he has a tragic story of losing his wife. In the movie, in the comic books, he thinks like he should be the superior being because he has the arms and no one else has them. That's why he believes he's superior. And anyone gets in his way is, yeah, screwed up. And in the Spectacular Spider-Man series, they had the similar thing with the chip in the back, and that if he loses it, he loses control and he gets more maniacal. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. So I like how Dr. Octopus is done. He's a charismatic, entertaining guy that you'd love to be around, and gives Spider-Man a run for his quips. So there, Dr. Octopus, the 8-legged scientist. Well, more like 6-legged, right?
Number 5.
Okay, we're at the number 5 spot on our list. Who will it be? Who could possibly be Dr. Octopus? Well, time to put you guys out of your misery.
There is only Carnage.
It's him, guys! It's Carnage! Carnage, I, at first, don't really mind Carnage as an offspring to Venom, but what made... I didn't understand him when I was younger, like, he was just a crazy guy, we've seen that kind of thing before, but then I digged in a bit more about him. Garrett helped me with his valid opinions on the character, and thanks to Garrett, he helped me put him on this list, because he gave his opinions on the character, and I said, well, I'm thinking about it, that does have potential. So yeah, Carnage is Cletus Cassidy, a serial killer, a dangerous man in a dangerous suit. Ho ho, get out your birthday presents, boys, because he's gonna paint the town red. He can take on characters like the T-1000 and He-1Y, and it will take a really long time for a winner to be decided in that fight. I can do that. Also, the fact that he's able to fight Venom and Spidey, it took them both to beat him at times. The Maximum Carnage storyline, he's able to create lots of offspring children as well as Toxin and stuff. And of course, this symbiote can create weapons to the bone. Venom can do it, but not as much as Carnage can. And there are some abilities that Carnage can do that Venom can't do, like stretching his limbs out and shooting his little darts instead of... He spreads his hand out, and he throws like several darts out of his fingers. Kind of like stabbing weapons in a way. So I can get the pass on that. I don't know if he can shoot webs up, maybe he can, maybe he can't, but I don't think he needs to, because he has lots of other projectiles. But man, Cletus Cassidy, maniacal, insane, and more relentless than Venom. Oh, we love this guy to death. Come on, he's not as popular as Venom, he's not as classic as Venom, but he's on the top 10 list. He's number 5 on mine. Enjoy him, love him, it's Carnage!
Number 6.
Time for number 6. Are you ready? We're getting more trickier now. Let's see if you can rally down. Reveal! Here we go, guys. Here it comes. Get the films ready. It's... Electro! Alright. That's right. It's Electro, guys. I think I put him on this list because of Spectacular Spider-Man, which is most of my villains' reasonings for being on here because of the influence they have on the show. If you ever watch the show, they get you influenced on the character. What they did on Spectacular Spider-Man is no exception nonetheless. They took an average character and amped him up a bit. In here, he's a normal guy who gets blasted into an electrical eel tank and gets... he acts like an average person would. If you got turned into a superhuman type character and you need to have a suit to keep you going, you don't look at yourself, oh my god, I'm normal, oh my god, I'm a freak. And this hatred takes over him. He gets so pissed off that he can't do anything, he can't drink coffee, he can't watch TV. He feels like he has this condition, but then he realizes he finally goes into his hatred and accepts it. And he becomes Electro, one of the most overpowered, overcharged villains that Spider-Man has come across, who he needs to rubberize his suit. And of course he's in a very popular Who, When and Why, if you know what I mean. Wink wink, hashtag watch the episode with Electro in it, not saying any further, just enjoy it. Electro's on the list, guys, number 6 I believe. Moving on.
Number 7.
Yes, it's time for number 7. So, who is number 7? Well, that's right.
Shocker.
Yeah, the Shocker. Herman Schultz is his real name. I like the fact that he has those powerful glove devices on his wrists which can shoot out vibronic blasts. Gives Electrocutioner a good run for his money. He fights Batman a lot. He's also in Homecoming for Spider-Man, which is pretty cool. I put him on the list because of how he's popular in a way, despite he's always used in the animated series and Spectacular Spider-Man. And I like the fact that a character who wears this kind of suit can be taken seriously. And sometimes it's those funny little things that make you love the character. And he's once again another character you can have fun with and do whatever you like with him. Kind of like Hobgoblin was. I don't want to say much about him because there's not much to say about him because he's not much of a villain. But still he's on the list because of how iconic his shocking appearance is. LOL. Alright, congratulations on Shocker.
Number 8.
So, who do you think is my number 8 Spider-Man villain? Well, it's...
The Lizard.
oh yeah, the Lizard. Okay, a few things about this guy. He's pretty cool. The fact that he's a scientist who wants to regrow his arm just to hold his son. It's been done with Man-Bat and stuff, but Lizard, it's a bit more... you sympathize with the character more because you know the Doctor more. But you give... basically, you get... in Peter's story, he spends more time with Kurt Connors, the Doctor, before he becomes Kurt Connors, the Lizard, doing different experiments and stuff, whether he's observing the symbiote, or maybe he's involved with the spider bite thing. He's always a mentor figure to him. Or in the movies cases, where he's teaching in schools. But yeah, he's a very good character, him as a scientist. But we are talking about his ultimate persona, which is the Lizard. Him as the Lizard is, well, diverse. Sometimes he's a monster who goes on the rampage, sometimes he's very smart. He can always lure in the sewers and he freaks out people there. But it's up to Spider-Man and all his allies to try and administer a cure to earn the Doctor back to normal. Which is the sad part, is though he's going to lose his arm again, so that the whole point is to revive his arm, but now he's going to lose it all again, so he'll be back to the scenario. It's like playing God and not trying to mess with it. So it's sad, tortured, but we all love Lizard for his appearance and how he's designed. And no, the Amazing Spider-Man does not count as a good design. This is how the Lizard looks, guys. The snout, the coat, that lovely snake-like tongue too is a nice little touch. The Lizard takes the number 8 spot on this list. And if you want to see more of the Lizard, go and check out our episodes on Who, When and Why, which are him faces Killer Croc and him versus Man-Bat if you want to see more of that action. Now it's time for number 9. Well, who is number 9? Let's show him.
Mysterio.
Alright, yeah, Mysterio. Oh, one more thing. Forgot to... oh, no, there it is. I just need to check if I paused that. Alright. Because I don't want it flipping off like the last video. But yeah, Mysterio has a lot of potential, this guy does. You have lots of potential. You could do nearly anything with this guy. Similar to Scarecrow, but barely any limits. All you need is, he's a stuntman who hates Spider-Man because he took the spotlight away. That's it. Other than that, you can go crazy with this guy. On his accent, on who he is, what he looks like behind the helmet, or his illusions. You can do whatever you want with it. It's amazing. Amazing, yeah, Spider-Man. But they should have done him in the movies. He's a great villain for that. Because they could do with anything they want with him. People have suggested Bruce Campbell for the role, which I can see. Because they always assume he's that guy, he's like the restaurant in the French restaurant in the third one. He was the same guy in the wrestling ring with Bonesaw, and he's also that guy who's the French usher who's in the play thing. So people have assumed that he could be Mysterio, which I would love to see as Bruce Campbell's Mysterio. That'd be great. I could see him performing behind the wall. And now, Spider-Man, ready for your next performance. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Mysterio has so much potential to be a great villain. He's also been in many games as well. And I could see him getting away with all those schemes. Mysterio is so much fun. And he's just on the list for another great Spider-Man villain. Now we come to number 10. Who is number 10? Well, it has to be
Kraven.
oh yeah, Kraven the Hunter. Kraven, what can I say about him? I like the fact that he's a skilled hunter who's able to hunt down the spider. Not many villains can say they've done that, unless you're Bane, who also hunt down Batman at times. And that the fact that he has that lovely Russian accent that makes him go on the hunt. I think Jim Cummings has also voiced this character as well in Shattered Dimensions, the video game. Another role that suits him well. He's very... Sometimes this is one of the villains who also teams up with Spider-Man at times in different mediums, depending on what the situation is. He's very skill hunter. Not many people can take him down, and he has been on our Who and Why show before with, Go on, don't tell me, it's Predator. He fought Predator in Season 2, Episode 1. So if you haven't seen that fight, you can go check it out. Also, for Mysterio, he fought Scarecrow in Season 4, Episode 1, so go check that out. But other than that, I think Kraven will really give you guys a run for his money. So yeah, this has been my top 10. I've had fun doing it, and now we get to thank you, Hybrid. So thanks. Yeah. Right, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, before I got to go to bed soon, so yeah. But, now, other than that, we've got to call a certain employee of ours, don't we? Why don't you go and give him the call? I think we want our money, don't we? Right then, guys, you best call our employee. Oh, yeah, and that too.
Oh yes. And Garrett, please give your thoughts on this, and of course the upcoming death battle, Thanos versus Darkseid. Okay, I did the video, but I expect my money.
Well, you shall be handsomely paid. I like having a spy in the Kingpin's organization.
Keep it down. They have no idea what's coming. Trust me, Season 8 won't get better than this on Who and Why.